This is Robert Waterman for youtube.com/SecondsOut with Don Charles. Not quite a week after the fight between Dereck Chisora and Tyson Fury was supposed to happen. Don, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
So Don, this hasn't been the best week. Run us up into the sort of the process of how this all occurred and what went wrong and what's been going on.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Whenever I'm asked prior to any fights we've had in the past, Dereck's been involved in the past, I always start off by saying, thanking God there has been, we've succeeded in not any injuries occurring, yeah? And such law, this is the first time since I've been training Dereck, he's pulled out of a fight with an injury. And you always hear it happening to other people. You always never think it's going to happen to you, but it does happen. You know, obviously this is the first time it's happened to us. This is a new experience. You know, I've experienced a lot of things since I've been a trainer, boxing trainer, and this is the first time for me with Dereck anyway.
Well, we're very grateful for you taking the time to speak to us when the whole situation is still so fresh and potentially sore. But can you let the viewers sort of know how this all started, how it happened, and the process? So it'd be very interesting, I think, for people to appreciate the process of finding out, wow, we're injured, we've got to pull out.
Well, every sportsman, whether you're a footballer, cricketer, tennis player, you know, at some point in your career you're going to get injured. Basically, as you know, it was a very long campaign for this. It was the longest ever run-up we've had to any fights we've been involved with. Dereck's been involved with. Even when Dereck contested for the WBC title, the program was a 13 weeks, okay, that we had to prepare for that fight with Vitaly Klitschko. This one was 16 weeks, okay, to get ready for this rematch with Tyson Fury. And I've always maintained all throughout, the trick would be to manage that time, yeah? To sustain the work, don't peak too soon, and also try and avoid injuries if you can, you know? Such law, we completed everything satisfactory. Sparring was going really, really good. This is the best sparring partner we've ever employed for any fight, you know? And everything was going really well. Can you believe it? And the last day, we had 2 days remaining to spar. And it was either we sparred on a Thursday or we sparred on the Friday of last week, okay? And we chose to spar on the Thursday, okay? And by that time, we'd done 102 rounds of sparring in the 15 previous weeks. It's completed. He's never ever done that amount of sparring. That's how much we wanted to prepare for this fight. The maximum Dereck's ever done, I can reveal this now, because whenever I'm asked, anyone is asked, any trainer, you don't really reveal the numbers of how many rounds you do. Some people do more than others, yeah. Okay? For the WBC, I'm just trying to give you a comparison. Sure. For the WBC preparation, we'd complete something like 75 rounds of sparring. For this fight, to the point prior to the injury, it completed 102 rounds successfully. You know, there was a few niggly injuries here, there, and there, but nothing to the degree where we're going not to fight on the 26th. So on that particular day, we came in as normal, everything, our routine is the same, warmed up, and the sparring partner got in the ring, Dereck got in the ring. He completed one round with Ustinov, the first round, and he's carrying out what I wanted him to carry on that particular day. And in the second round of that session, he tried to double jab Ustinov, because we know that was working on Ustinov. And Ustinov, I don't know if you know by now, he's a very big man, he's a very heavy man, he's 21 stone, okay? He's got the most awkward style, which is why we employed him in the first place. So As Dereck went to throw a double jab, he smothered Dereck's jabs, and basically, I can't stand up and demonstrate, but it's something like where he's trying to double jab. The first one landed, and then the second jab was smothered, and it literally, Dereck's arm went up like that. We thought initially it was the shoulder. When Dereck screamed in pain, we thought, damn, his shoulder's popped out. That's what it looked like. He said, no, cut my gloves off, cut my gloves off. So we couldn't even undo it was in so much pain. We didn't undo the gloves, the laces. We cut it off. Again, when we cut it off, we thought it was the wrist, a wrist injury, because he was indicating, he goes, no, my wrist is gone. So we pressed about. It had full movement in the wrist, you know. I had a couple of colleagues here who understand the body parts more than I do, so they looked at the hand, twisted it, and they said, no, it doesn't appear broken because you've got full movement. Yeah? His hand did swell up before he left the gym, just a little bit, a little swell in the wrist area. We iced it. We always carry ice here. Anyway, cut long story short, I insisted he went for an X-ray just to see, so we can carry on in the following days to complete our program. He went to a specialist. I got the X-ray. The X-ray was taken on a Friday. The injury occurred on a Thursday. The X-ray was taken on Friday following day, and the results came back on the Monday, which is the day we told our promoter. Sorry, we told Frank on when the injury occurred. Frank is the one who referred Dereck to a specialist to get an X-ray. And the results came back on the Monday, the day we announced that this fight. We can't, I mean, Dereck, as stubborn as he is, wanted to fight. He said, I want to take an injection and strap it, it'll be okay. On the advice of the specialist, it's a hairline fracture, double fracture. If you go and use that and then make it worse, then you're going to need surgery, and it could potentially be career-threatening.
So, you know, this has been a rough week. Dereck must be distraught. You're obviously upset. What's next?
What can I say? We don't know. As I sit here, we don't know. But, you know, it's not the end of the world because, you know, I think everybody wanted that fight. You know, Dereck Chisora, Tyson Fury, the whole country wanted the fight. Everybody wanted the fight. Did you want the fight?
I most definitely wanted the fight.
I think everybody, even the young man behind the camera, I'm sure you was looking forward to that because you guys have worked closely with us, with everybody in the build-up. But everybody wanted to see the fight. So the disappointment that I'm feeling right now, I mean, it's getting better. Every day I wake up, it gets better, okay? But, you know, I always say I'm not going to suddenly dismiss my beliefs that everything happens for a reason. When it happens, you think it's the end of the world. Yeah, okay. The morning after is horrible, you know. The feeling I got when this happened was that feeling of when we've lost a big fight or a fight in the past, because the next day is horrible feeling. You don't want to get out of your bed. You don't want to talk to no. That's exactly the same feeling. It's really, really strange, you know. I had to keep reminding myself, hang on a sec, we haven't lost a fight here. We basically pulled out of a fight. Okay, all right, can I also take this opportunity to, I'm not a hypocrite. I felt for Fury, okay, his team, the fighter and the team, because I know if the roles was reversed, yeah, that we'd put all this work in and Fury pulled out, I'll be like, yeah, I'll be like everybody's doing, I'll be fetching any.
Yeah, well, I think, first of all, you've been in that position in the past, and unfortunately, Fury's had that all too often in the last few years.
Yeah, I mean, we've been there before with Vladimir Klitschko. I don't know if you can recall that. 2 pullouts. I mean, for us, we went to a foreign land. We traveled all the way to Germany to face this man, and 2 days to the fight. Yeah, I'm not saying any time scale, but 2 days before the fight, the man says, I'm not going to fight you. I've got an injury. Sustained an injury, and we had to get back on the plane, and it was a horrible experience. So I can kind of understand where Fury and his team, how they would be feeling, you know, because it's not, they've put I'm assuming, I'm sure they did. They put as much work as we did for 16 weeks, and it's horrible. So, regardless of all the bad banter that's been going on between the two camps, it's tension. It's, we both want the same thing. Driving for the same goal. Of course, there's going to be that tension, but to pull out. Yeah, we certainly, and Dereck Chisora is not the type, and I certainly am not the type for whatever reason. But obviously, when you're injured, and I do feel for everybody concerned.
How long before Dereck, one, is recovered, and when can we next expect to see Dereck in the ring?
Again, I'm not a specialist in these matters, as in injuries. Obviously, we have to work closely with the chap who the consultant. From my understanding, a fracture, a hairline fracture, double fracture, you're looking at anything between 8 to 10 weeks. Okay, then you're going to have another X-ray to determine whether it's healed or not. Obviously, you can't make any physical contact. Punching is out of the question with that particular hand. So he won't be punching anything solid for, you're looking at 12 weeks before, if everything is okay, the second X-ray after 8 to 10 weeks, after 8 weeks, if the X-ray says it's healed, then you could get some physio, first and foremost, get some physio, and then you could maybe start making some contact with pads or bags.
And then, so from your side, you're sitting down, obviously had better weeks. You then hear the fight's taking place in, there is a fight with Tyson Fury taking place in Manchester against your chief sparring partner, Ustinov. And then that fight falls through. I mean, it's a bizarre turn of events.
Yeah, it's the weirdest weekend ever, I was also looking forward, believe it or not, although we'd pulled that through injury, I was actually looking forward to seeing Tyson Fury fight Ustinov, because again, the fans, let's not forget the fans, I mean, we're disappointed. Imagine the fans who've paid a lot of money to, i.e. the fight was in Manchester, people were traveling from all over the country to go to that fight. They'd booked hotels, I assume, and bought tickets, can you imagine, how they would be feeling? So when it turns out that fight was not going to happen between Ustinov and Fury, I was disappointed because I'm a boxing fan. Okay, I wanted to see it. Okay, I wanted to see Fury. I wanted to see, how would it have gone against us also? Because, you see, I know it's different styles. Ustinov is a big man. So when he, obviously we know the reason, his uncle Huey is not well, and I know Huey well. I've worked not with him, but I've shared a dressing room, boxing dressing room with him. He's a very, very nice man, and I really take this opportunity to wish him a speedy recovery. We're all in this together, regardless of the competition between all of us. But the boxing family, we're a very tight family, and we're all in this together. Huey, get well as soon as you can, because we need you. We need you in the industry. You're a good man, okay? And yeah, so obviously I have to respect that if his uncle is not well, he opted not to fight. I respect that.
So we're in the situation now that the fight obviously didn't happen. The other fight for Fury didn't happen. The fans still would like to see Fury v Chisora. Are we going to see that fight? It's again, I'm not a promoter. You have to really ask Frank for that. I mean, I've spoken to Dereck. Of course, we want the fight. You have to ask Fury if he wants the fight. Then obviously the promoter would like to put the fight. I think should they meet again, I think it should be entitled by public demand. Okay. I believe the public, if Boxing News will probably put it out, when they do their voting thing to see let's ask the fans, let's ask everybody that's concerned, because we have to include the fans, and because like I said, everybody had paid a lot of money to go and watch this, because it would have been a great fight. And whenever it does happen, whenever it happens, whether it's this year, next year, whether they go their own ways, yeah, who knows? Yeah, whether they go their own ways and win things and then meet again, whenever it happens, it's going to be a good fight. But I hope it is the next fight. Now, this has been a bad week for you. for obvious reasons. How's Dereck taken this?
Listen, Dereck's a very strong character, you know, mentally and physically. We're all affected in the same way. He's the fighter, so the fighter who he put his body through that 16-week period of preparation, you know. So you imagine mentally, it's not just physical, the mental torture of what he prior to the injury, like I said, he'd completed 102 rounds. We've never ever done that, yeah. 102 rounds. He got injured on the 104th round. In the 104th round, he got injured. How weird is that? We're supposed to have done a 10-rounder that very day. They could only manage 1 1/4 round on the day of the injury. So no, he's feeling. Listen, he's my boy. You know, I love that boy. He's a very strong man. Yeah. Sometimes he doesn't say what he's feeling, but I've known him long enough to know he deeply. He would obviously shattered, devastated, and even he said to me personally, I'm not just saying this because of in front of camera, about how he feels for the other chap, Tyson Fury, because Dereck's been there, yeah. And also remember, there's something called pride, the pride of, you know, because the last thing Dereck Chisora would do would be, let's say, pull out of a fight. You know, imagine looking at your opponent in the face. He will say to you, guess what, you pulled out, you're scared of me, you pulled out. What can you say to that? But we have got an injury, he did sustain an injury. So there's a lot of pride there as well, where that's not in Chisora's makeup.
Don, thank you so much for your time in this very difficult period. Great to see you at Punch London, and we wish you all the best, and we can't wait for that fight to happen again.
By the grace of God, everything will be okay, and he with Fury will be fine. Chisora's hand will heal, and hopefully the two fighters can, when everything calms down, when we're calm, when Fury digests it, maybe he can see sense and say, you know what, that is the biggest fight for me out there against Chisora. So,
Don, thanks.